Nazuma TV back with another video. Alright guys, I decided after watching this video, shout out to IFL TV. They're really slept on. They put together some amazing interviews, especially out in the UK with Tyson Fury, David Haye, Tony Bellew, and all those guys. Um, they caught up with Sergey Kovalev. I'm assuming he was out in New York. I guess he's over there to go watch Daniel Jacobs and Triple G. 'Cause I think he's pretty good friends with Triple G or whatever. But IFL TV has stopped him, and they had asked him some questions about what's going on between a rematch between him and Andre Ward. And Sergey Kovalev had a lot to say. And shout out to Kovalev because I think his English is getting better. I definitely had some trouble trying to decipher some of the things he had been saying in the past, but I feel like he's getting better with his English now because he's definitely more. He was lacking fluency before, but now it seems as if like when he talks now it flows. So shout out to him. That's definitely needed, especially if you want to be a star in the United States. Now, he definitely explained some frustration. And shout out to boxing scene for typing up what he had written. I mean for what he had said during the interview. He said, it says Kovalev is getting frustrated and believes Ward is dragging his feet to sign the contract. Ward has stated in recent interviews that he wants to get Kovalev back in the ring to set the record straight, which is true. I definitely have seen interviews from Ward, um, especially from IFL TV while he was out in the UK, and he says that he wants to rematch Kovalev to set the record straight that this wasn't a fluke, meaning his first victory, because a lot of people believe that Kovalev had won the first fight. But besides that, Kovalev goes on to say, um, unquote, I'm already feeling good because I understand that people's love for me means much more than the titles. Everybody around me, around you, everybody says that Andre Ward lost the fight. If he's a man, he'll get into the ring and prove it. I'm still waiting for him to sign the contract for a rematch. I know that I won the fight. It's not only my opinion because I am very happy that the boxer fans feel like me. It was just dirty business. My goal right now is to get the belts. I'm happy that this loss happened because I see how much bullshit is around me. Now I understand that my friends are only how many fingers I have on my hand, and my close friends, my real friends, and not just people who I meet. I hope the rematch happens. If he's a real champ, Andre Ward, if you're a real champ, you will give me a rematch. Are you a man or a girl? Let's do it, you scared motherfucker. Damn. Damn, that's a pretty heavy statement from Sergey Kovalev, which isn't far from the usual because he had definitely talked in a similar fashion against John Pascal, um, Gene Pascal, whatever the fuck his name is, and fuck, what's the guy's name? Damn. He talked similar shit to Adonis Stevenson. I'm sorry, the WBC light heavyweight champion. And damn, that's a pretty heavy. That's a pretty heavy statement. Pretty heavy statements from Sergey Kovalev. Um, and I could definitely see where he's coming from. You know what I'm saying? I mean, me personally, I thought the fight was really close. I think it could have gone either way. I definitely think Andre Ward had taken over the second half of that fight, but I don't think me personally. I don't think Andre Ward had done enough to take the titles away from the champion. That's just what I personally think. Um, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I would not be mad if people believed that Andre Ward had won. Clearly, uh, I'm sorry. I'm fucking nauseated and shit. But anyway, I'm gonna side with Kovalev on this one, man. I usually don't take sides. I try to be as neutral as possible, but I definitely think that Andre Ward and his team are definitely doing some snake shit right now. Considering the fact that there had been a rematch clause in the contract, uh, Andre Ward should be a man of his word. Since he has signed that contract, then he should be I mean, since they both signed that contract and Sergey Kovalev was champion at the time he had signed that contract, then he should be able to exercise his rematch clause with no problem. Uh, Vladimir Klitschko had exercised his rematch clause against Tyson Fury, and although the fight did not happen because of Tyson Fury's outside of the ring problems, Tyson Fury obliged, and he took the fight on. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that y'all had a similar situation where Kovalev was in the position where he could exercise his rematch clause, and you guys are trying to come up with a new way to come up with a new contract and have different deals going on and shit. I think that's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Now, Ward coming around talking about retirement and shit. He talking about you want to set the record straight, but now you talking about then in the same at the same time, you talking about, oh, I'm seriously considering retirement. Like, why? You know, like why? I don't understand. You definitely have something to prove. A lot of fans believe you lost, and since you have been carrying that reputation for being undefeated ever since you were 13, 14 years old, that doesn't really leave a good impression on you. And I think that you should try to prove the critics wrong. You know, like you've been doing your entire career. Nobody thought he was going to win the Super Six tournament. A lot of people didn't believe. I believe a lot of people thought Carl Froch was going to win that, but that's not how things turned out. So it wouldn't be a bad thing if you were to prove the critics wrong again. I personally believe that you have the ability to make adjustments and make the rematch easier, but since it seems like y'all kind of backpedaling on that rematch clause, is definitely like it's kind of fishy. You know what I'm saying? Since you have the belts now, you feel the need to be so in control. But I think it's kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? But then maybe I could be wrong. Maybe Kovalev just talking out his ass, and I don't know. There be so much snake shit going on in boxing on the inside that you don't know what to trust. But I know there was a rematch. I know there was a rematch clause, and I hear Ward going around talking about that it has to make business sense and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? If it made business sense the first time, then why wouldn't it make business sense the second time? You thought it made sense when you had signed that contract initially, and what more would you want? What more would you want? That's just what I want to know. Do you want more money because the money you had gotten um, was a lot more than what your pay-per-views accumulated to come, like what Kovalev, I believe Ward had gotten like 5 million from Rock Nation or whatever, but you didn't accumulate enough revenue for your pay-per-view buys to support that 5 million. Y'all didn't do that well in the pay-per-view department, and you know, what's her name, Kathy Duva, I think is Sergey Kovalev's promoter, whatever she is, advisor. I don't know what the fuck she is, but um, she says that she's giving Kovalev a reasonable amount of money, and that what Andre Ward had gotten was a lot more than what he was supposed to get, which I definitely see. But I'm not here to talk about anybody's money. I just want to know why Andre Ward wants to come up with a new contract after the contract he had signed initially had a rematch clause. So now you don't want to the same contract you signed, you're starting to go against. And I don't know, man. There's just a lot of weird shit going on. Andre Ward has some explaining to do, in my opinion. Just make the fucking fight happen. You know what I'm saying? A rematch is definitely something people want to see. I don't want to see you go around trying to fight somebody else. I don't want to see you fighting nobody except Kovalev in a rematch. Y'all guys, let me know what y'all think about this. This Mazuma TV, and I'm out.